Hold on, I'm just going to go live right now. Okay,
You're
there we go.
hi,
Hi,
everybody.
everybody. Thank you for coming. I hope my internet holds. And there's nobody here, guys. Nobody here. My internet's jacked up. All right,
Nobody
guys,
here.
we're gonna talk with Shawn today. He's gonna tell about it. He's gonna tell us about his channel and what he does. So, Shawn, you have the floor, sir. Tell us about your channel.
About my channel? Well, I was talked into actually creating it, but more or less, I just want to put on there the proof that they do exist, that they're always around all of us, all the time, and hopefully I can get some of them to be on camera with me and actually prove to the world that they're just like us.
Yeah, they
You
are.
know, some good, some bad, and then there's other things out there too. But
So when you go into the graveyards and you start talking to these spirits, have you ever gotten scared? Like when you start talking to one, like one communicates with you. Have you ever gotten scared to the point where you want to stop talking to them?
no, no,
Mm.
not since I was a kid. I started realizing that there was nothing to fear. Even though some of them don't exactly look very nice. That there's some that you just there's no way you could imagine it in your head. But no, just a while back, I decided that I was going to step in to those that are caught in their own hell. And I saw this lady, her body, face, everything, that I can't even explain it to myself. But she turned her head slowly and looked at me, and that was, I literally almost fell backwards. And she showed me within 2 seconds an eternity of fear, the fear that she was feeling. All her mind just wasn't there. She wasn't there no more. She had constant things around her that was tormenting her constantly, all the time. And when she showed me it, what feared me the most was the eternity that she was having to live that, and she made me feel it. And I can't describe that kind of fear. It just there's no. I just hope when it comes my time that I don't end up that way. And it also makes me second guess about eternity now that I've seen it or felt it.
That is crazy. So not
But
only not only can you talk to them, but you feel them. You feel everything they feel too, don't you?
oh yeah, yeah, I can feel everything they feel. Um, I'm kind of what they call a seer. backwards. I see the past. Sometimes I see glimpses of the future, but when I want to know something from them, they just simply either put their hand on me or something, and I look through their eyes and I see their past. I can see the way they died, if that's what they want to show me, or if they want to show me a certain event that happened in their life. They'll show it to me. It sometimes I can just walk out in a place and it's mixed with different eras from say the 1920s to the 1940s, so on. You've got all these mixed people that are just walking down the street, sitting at the houses. I go into Walmart. There's several of them in Walmart. I mean, I cannot go anywhere without seeing them and them coming up and trying to talk to me.
Damn.
So you think it's more gift or curse?
Yeah. My great grandmother always said it was a gift, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel cursed.
Well, Shawn, you have that gift to where you can help these spirits. You can help them move on. The ones that are stuck here, the ones that are lost. I mean, I wouldn't consider it cursed. I would consider it a gift.
Yeah. Well, this, just from what they have told me and what I found out, it's not like there's just our side and their side. There's several, I mean, hundreds upon hundreds of different dimensions or parallels or realms, whatever you want to call them. And I used to not believe in portholes until they actually showed me how they use them to travel to different places. And just my opinion, the reason we don't see heaven is because it's another one of the parallels that everybody can pass to if they want to. But I quit telling everybody to go to the light a long time ago because I had a spirit box running and they all started telling me to turn off the light. And I was thinking to myself, no, I'm not turning off my lamp. And they was like, no, the light, turn it off. They're coming through it. And I snapped. What it was is the light. I mean, when you think about it, everybody says they see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, it's basically a porthole. And it's got, the door opens both ways. So you can go in, but once you're in, it can go anywhere. And at the same time, if it's open too long, people on the other side from Airwaters can see it open and they can come back through it and come into where you're at. That's how a lot of us end up having the bad, the negatives, like you have in your house right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they get in.
Yeah, but see that we can't figure out where the portal is in that house either. I don't know where the portal is. There's got to be some kind of portal in there.
I have found out that every time you open any type of communication device, whether it's an SB7 or what, especially an SB7, you're going to open a portal. Every single time you're going to open one. And that's how you get so many of them being to talk to you.
Right.
But I always try to warn everybody too, when you're using any kind of communication device, remember, you open a communication to everyone, good or bad.
Right.
So just be a little attentive and be careful to who you're actually communicating with.
Yeah. For sure. Well, I try to be anyways. But, you know, with all the activity and stuff we've had going on in our house, I mean, there's like they're trying to get our attention. They're like, you know, knocking stuff off the tables or knocking stuff off the top of the refrigerator. Or like one day I had this instance where I was sitting at my makeup table doing my face, and all of a sudden the bag on the floor started moving. And I'm thinking a mouse. It was. I thought it was. Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to keep bumping in and out. I got full bars. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to push that much. Usually once or twice, but I act like Casper today. I don't know. But there's like nobody here. Nobody's on the internet. Everybody's on mobile data.
Oh wow.
Well, Billy's got that new way of which I like. So Billy, thank you with using the voice recorder and putting the speakers to it.
Yeah.
I have tried it myself here in the house and got a few of them. And yes, it works great.
Yeah, he's been playing around with stuff. He's trying to see if he can contact through that way. He's doing really good with it. But the only thing I don't like is the feedback. The feedback gets me. I'm like, babe, you got to start cutting that out your videos.
You got to get the speaker away from the recorder.
Yeah.
That's why it's so much feedback. I figured that out. But
so Shawn, I saw that I saw your very first video long time ago when we first met. And I thought it was funny. You were like talking to people, but I was thinking, oh, people passing by. But you weren't talking to the people passing by. You were talking to the people in the cemetery.
I remember that video.
Like, hello. If you watch his first video, he's like sitting on a bench, and you think they're passerby he's talking to, but he's not. He's talking to the spirits in the cemetery. I first had to rewind and going, wait a minute, there's
Jack, she's gonna come out again. she's playing a lot of Casper today, but I get what she's saying though. I mean, when you were when you were standing in that cemetery, and talking to the spirits the way you were, if people would put their headphones on in that video, you would hear the spirits talking back to them. It's really low. But if you have some earbuds in your ears, you can hear what those spirits are saying to you. You can hear them responding to you, but you just can't see them. I know I can't see them.
I can hear them just fine.
I know. I know. It's like
that cemetery is where my dad was buried back in 2013. And since then, of course, I've been going out there. And I've gotten to know them. And since my back got really bad, I go out there at least twice a week to walk because it's peaceful. I like going out there.
Right.
You know, there's not a whole lot of them out there. You know, on the contrary, you know, most bears, they don't want to stay in graveyards. They don't want to stay with their body. But in particular, you know, one gentleman, he don't stay there, but he comes and he visits his buddies that are buried there.
Right.
But in fact, that was one of them I said hi. And he, yeah, it's just normal for us to just wave and say hi to each other, and they keep on walking.
That's crazy. They still do that in the afterlife?
Yes,
That's amazing. Did you hear that, Jax?
they a majority of them just keep on living just like we are now. They don't. There's no difference to them. In fact, some don't even know there's a difference. You know, they keep on living their lives. They go to work every day. They come home. They have dinner. They go to sleep. And that's the ones you don't even try to break in and let them know there's any difference. Because, you know, because then there is no difference. They don't have no idea that they passed away. They
They're
still got
confused.
they still got the family and everybody around them, and they still live in their timeline, their time when, you know. That's when I say that we have so many different parallels. You know,
Right. Doris has got a point.
Sometimes I think, sometimes I think when they say, you know, spirits go to the light, what if it's their light? It's not the that they per se, and you know, Bible per se, but it's their light
exactly,
where they want to go.
exactly.
You know, maybe they don't want to go to that thing that's always talked about. You know, they want to go where they remember being, or you know, where they felt loved and felt needed. And, you know, that's what I think when my family's around here, you know, I look at it and they're checking up on me. They're making sure I'm good. And that makes me feel good knowing that they're here, you know?
Yeah. Even if they're in heaven, they can come back anytime they want to.
I've heard that. They can still communicate with you even though they've crossed over.
Hmm.
I have heard that.
But I will say, Sarah taught me. She's somebody who's been with me since 2004. She comes and goes, but she more or less lives with me. And she has taught me that before they step into the light, they concentrate and just basically forget everything and just think of where they want to go. And then they step into the light. And hopefully that's where they end up.
So have they taught you, or have you asked them how they move things and how they scratch people? Have you found that out just by talking to the spirits?
It's just an increase in their energy. And I had, you know, most of the time when somebody does get scratched, it's because they're trying so hard with their energy to just touch you that they accidentally touch you too hard and end up scratching you. I've found that more times than I have somebody being actually, you know, mad and literally trying to hurt you.
Right.
But yeah, it's a buildup of their energy, and they once they can build up that, if some of them are just natural, they have that energy with them all the time, you know, and it's kind of hard to explain, I guess. I mean,
It's pretty much like they move it with their mind. They're moving it with their mind. They're doing things with their mind. Maybe.
no, they move it just like we move things. They grab it and move it.
Huh.
It's, you know, some of them, you know, when they've got all the energy together, they become whole. You know, that way they don't pass through things. You know, they use the doorways. You know, they can't walk through the walls.
Oh.
It's just, you know, it's just people still. You know, everybody was born with the ability to see them. Everybody was. But as we got older, society taught us that they're not real. So we abandoned that. Well, most people did abandon that part of their brain that allows them to see the other side. But everybody has it. It's not like it's a special gift. Just you know, a few of us have. Everybody's got it. It's just being able to open that part of your brain again.
Well, I mean, it's like I tell everybody too. I see them when I'm not meant to see them, or I catch them out with my peripheral vision, or I see them because they want me to see them. They want me to know that they're there. But I'm gonna tell you, my ears are like K2 meters. I know when they're around, whether I see them or not. I don't care if I ever see them, but I know that they're around. They mess with me. I could feel them. A lot of times I can read into them too. It just depends on how strong they are, if I can read into them or not. So, yeah, I get what you're saying.
I always give them a lot of times when I go to places. They'll try their little tricks. Like, no, for instance, when I went to the Jefferson Hotel, I had that one guy. He come up behind me and did his, started saying pain, hurting, and I was like, I was like, dude, I'm not playing your game, you know. And he changed his tune. Now it was like, oh, well, wait a minute, let's talk. And I'm like, okay, fine, we'll talk, but you know, your little scare tactics to get rid of me. Oops, wrong. I can hear you. You know, I'm not like the rest of the people that come into this hotel and can't hear you. I can hear you. So
Right.
I played it off in the video like I couldn't hear him because actually I was not paying attention to him on purpose.
You were blocking them out.
Yeah, but I usually when I'm talking to them, especially when like doing someplace like that and videoing, majority of them do not like being on the camera.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that. Ghosts don't like to be filmed or have pictures taken of them.
No. Reason being is because it takes part of their energy away.
But they don't they feed off of the energy from like the cameras. That's the reason why our cameras and stuff get drained.
It's
Because
because they're losing part of it and they're trying to gain it back.
wow, this is interesting. I'm learning some stuff today.
They, I want to say it. Remember the old sayings back in the old days that it started with the indigenous people that they felt like when you took their picture that it took part of their spirit away.
Yeah.
Um, Turns out it's kind of true because when you do take that picture, you take that part of their spirit stuck in a picture, and that's why they would not do it. Like I said, most of them, in fact, when I was in that hotel, I walked to a room and there was a lady there. She was the previous manager of the hotel, and that was her bedroom. And as soon as I walked to the room, she immediately put her hand on top of my camera, pushed it down, and told me that I don't like cameras, turn it off. So I turned it off immediately. And she was upset. And I sat and talked with her for a while. And she just did not stay happy with me because of the simple fact that I walked into her room with a camera. I went back. I've been back there 3 times. And I've talked to her since then. And she's warmed up to me. But you will not get her on camera. You won't get her talking on camera either.
So is it true that like people tell you that you're supposed to ask permission to film them and
Oh,
to video to take a picture of them before you ever start doing that?
sure, absolutely.
Because a lot of times we don't ask, we just snap.
It's just like somebody taking your picture or turning a video camera on and videoing you.
Right.
Wouldn't you'd be like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you taking my picture? No. Another thing too, when if you walk into a dark place, mind the flashes on your camera, it blinds them. The bright lights and everything are flashlights. Try and keep your flashlight down. You'll start to notice that you'll see them more if you'll keep your light down and just up enough where it lets the glow of the light just enough to see them. I do it out of courtesy for them anyway, because I know if somebody shines a freaking bright light in my face, it blinds the hell out of me.
So when you were young, when you first realized that you were able to see ghosts, tell me a story about when you were young. What happened?
The first one that I noticed was he was an old man. Um, he wore a brown suit, but his face was really pale white. And I was 6 years old, and to me, it looked like a freaking monster. Scared the hell out of me. And every so often, now that I look back on it, realize he used my closet as a portal. And he would come into my room. He would look for me, and I would always put my sheet over my head, but I could feel him right there at my head.
Right.
And then he would walk on into the rest of the house. That continued until I was almost 12 years old, and we moved down to Texas. And lo and behold, when we moved here, the previous owners lived here. And that's when I started realizing what I was seeing. Because the woman and man that were the original owners of this house, they helped me understand who they was.
Right.
But my very first memory of the spirit, now that I think about it, is when I was only about a week old. It's just a memory,
Right.
you know. But it wasn't until about maybe 5 years ago, I told my mom, I said I had this in my head from when I was a kid, and I started explaining this house to her in detail, what it looked like. And I had left out the part about the man walking by, stopped, looked at me, turned, and then walked out the back door. And in that memory, I could remember, I could see through. But she told me there was absolutely no way I could remember that because I was only, she said I couldn't have been a week old yet because she said soon after that they moved across the street, which I know because my grandparents lived right there too. So I grew up in that area. But she said 2 weeks after they moved, that house burnt completely down. So there's absolutely no way I could know what that house looked like. But I did. I guess that's my first memory of one. But it's not one, that I had anything to do with. It's just a memory.
Right. Well, that's young to be able to see a spirit only being a week old. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't talk to them, of course, but you could still see them. And they say that children are the ones more prone to see, ghosts, unless you're Billy or you can see them all throughout your life and hasn't had no problem seeing it. Mary, yes, I did see you. Hi, Doris. Hi, everybody in the chat. I'm on the laptop, by the way. Go ahead.
Well, they live in the now too, Doris. You know,
They're, they're, they're
they're
just
doing it.
like
Go ahead.
they're just like people, just like you said. They're just like people, but nobody truly knows unless you have gifts like you do. But nobody truly knows what a ghost is capable of, or how they go about their afterlife. Nobody knows. Nobody really knows until you become one. You understand what I'm saying? But when you have gifts like you do, I mean, you're able to talk to ghosts. You're able to feel what they feel. Sometimes you're even able to see what they see. You can explain the afterlife to a lot of these people better than a lot of these ghost hunters can, because you are blessed with the gift that you have.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Billy has talked about you a lot, Shawn. I mean, when you went MIA for a while on Twitter and on your channel and stuff like that. Me and Billy talked about you a lot. One of the reasons we talked about you a lot is because we respect you. We respect what you do, how you go about it when you talk to the spirits. And, we need more people like you out there, people that can actually explain the afterlife to us, because I wish I could take you on every ghost hunt we went to, because you can see a lot more than what we can.
Yeah. Billy's got the talent too.
Mm-hmm. He does. But he's got to get more stronger with, which he is getting stronger with it. there's certain things that he'll pick up on quicker than what I will. And I'm like, oh my, I might check you out, but, you are very, very gifted. And, I can just sit and just listen to you talk to me about the spirit realm. I mean, is there anything that you want to talk about? Things that you want to share with, the people that's up here in the chat? I
Uh,
mean, go ahead. Say what you want to. Hey, David.
I'll be 50 in November. You're talking about 50 years of experience.
Okay, well, how about like an investigation, or where you just went out like walking or whatever, and maybe something that you experienced that you have never experienced before?
I experience new things all the time. I found that a lot of them, they don't see each other. They'll walk right by each other. And what I found is because it's the parallels or the dimensions, they come together every once in a while. And they'll literally walk right by each other. Never know that they was there. They can stand in a room. I mean, I've been on an investigation before where there was two of them in the room and neither one of them knew that the other one was there. I was split in two different realms in that room at the same time.
What was that like?
It's confusing. It's hard to just center on one of them because they both got their own what they're wanting to say, or it's like a lot of them when they say help, it's not necessarily that they need help crossing over or anything like that. It may just be that they need help tying their ship.
Well, we're glad you're back, Shawn. You've been gone a long time, but we're glad you're back.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I'm back. See,
I see.
I had to take some time off.
I hear you.
I dealt with a negative that it took all my energy plus some, and when that happens, it's just you keep their thoughts in your head, and those are not thoughts I wanted, and it was making me really ugly to other people. I was not being very nice. So I just excluded myself from life for a while.
Right.
It's something we all go through. A lot of us that do the cleansing like I did and everything, that we've got to take our personal time to, because we have to cleanse ourselves, because we absorb all those feelings, the emotions, the thoughts. I mean, can you imagine have the thought of a murder in your head and it feels like your own thoughts of how you would murder somebody and seeing it?
Oh my.
I mean, that's just stuff you don't want in your head. So you take your personal time. I do all the things I do and just expunge it and get rid of it all.
I have no idea, but we have four squares. We have 4 squares and the other one's just circling. Okay,
I
like
know. What in the? I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it.
Traveling
How
Tyler
did you
said,
I
"Hey,
sure
Shawn."
will, Tyler. Give me a call if you still
There
got
we
my
go.
number. I'll definitely do it. I do have one thing coming up Monday that may take up part of the week, but other than that, I'll be free.
Okay, Mary wants to know. Says, Shawn, when did you start? For you, what age? When did it start for you? What age did you start seeing and hearing spirits?
Oh Lord, like I said, when I actually realized what they was probably when I was around. Well, like I said, when I moved here, about 11 years old. I had been seeing them before then, but I just didn't really realize what they was because my parents are very strict. They're
Got
non-believers.
it.
Um, I grew up the way that if I said anything about them, I got in trouble for it. So I spent all my life just basically hiding it and not letting them know. But yeah, I was pretty young.
Yeah. Doris asked if it's true that ghosts have unfinished business.
Yeah, a lot of them, and usually it's a lot
Whose
of
birthday
them.
is it?
It's they're wanting people to,
Oh, Winter's birthday.
they want their justice for who killed them or
Patty's birthday tomorrow.
whatever.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh, come on.
I said, "Well, I got you, honey. I got you." Well, it's up there. It popped up there. It's just taking a minute for it to pop up there. I'm trying to keep a watch on the chat too, not just for
Not
questions, but
mine.
don't
Go
have
out and come back
nobody
in.
come up here and it's stupid.
Go out and come back in.
I ain't got to.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree, Mary. Yeah, plus, when I was in school, like in junior high, oh Lord, the junior high I went to is extremely old. And, it's got quite a few spirits walking down the hallways. And I had to ignore them because I didn't want to look crazy to all the other
You should
kids.
come up and get started. I'm going to tell you more because you're hard.
I can imagine how many spirits you would see in a school hallways. I mean, seriously, if that school's been sitting for a long time, I could only imagine how many spirits were walking through a school hallway.
A lot.
It's not like you can just come out and tell kids around your age what you see. I mean,
No.
it's not that simple. I mean, my first spirit I saw, I was 14, and I told my friends, and they thought I was crazy. I was like, "You don't see it? It's literally right there. How do you not see it?" And I just had to realize that they don't see what I see. I was 14 or 15. They'd spend the night at my house. We'd have sleepovers, and I seen the little girl and little boy in the hallway, and I'm saying, "How do you not see them? They're right there." And I thought for the longest time I was just weird. I was like, I'm not telling people about this because they're just gonna put me in the loony bin.
No.
But for years, Brent, I swear I didn't tell nobody. I didn't tell nobody nothing. And when I started YouTube, I went on a couple of YouTube channels, and then I started hearing about people investigating and, talking about spirits and people talking about, everything. I'm going, wait, I'm not weird anymore. There's a whole bunch of people that are weird. So I figured, I'd jump on. So I started listening to people. And then I started talking about my stories. And Puerto Rican one day, he said, I went to one of his chat things, community things. And he says,
Right.
Jackson, let me ask you a question. I said, yeah. I was kind of afraid and I was nervous to answer it. He goes, do you see spirits? I'm like, is that a trick question? Wait, I don't know if I want to answer that. I said, well, okay, yeah. He goes, do you hear him? I'm like, okay, this is getting really tricky here. You're going to call me nutball in a minute. I said, yeah. He goes, well, you're sensitive. I said, I know I'm sensitive. I'm a sensitive person. He goes, no, not like that. And I'm like, what does that mean? He says, you're kind of like a lighthouse. It's like you're a beacon. And I'm going, well, I don't want to be no damn beacon. He goes, you don't have a choice. But I didn't know until I was about 48 years old. I was 48 when I found that out. I just thought I was weird.
My favorite scene.
I really thought that I had something wrong with me, that I could see something other people couldn't. But I mean, I was never been afraid of it. It's never like I've never had a feeling where, oh Lord, I don't. I'm so glad what's in my house is all good. Nothing, nothing bad. Like, I guess I'm blessed that way. I got 3 demons that run around this house. Name my grandsons. That's all I need. That's all I need. Don't need no demons. Don't need no bad people.
I got 2 of them running around right now too.
Well, Jason's the demon now. He's the only one here, so I'm gonna call him the demon because he just terrorizes the dang house.
It just comes natural.
It just comes naturally. Mm-hmm.
Shawn, you're married, right?
No.
No.
I was married.
No, he's
twice.
not married.
I thought he was married.
I've been single since 2003.
You've been single a hot minute, Brad. I could have told you that if you asked me.
Because I was going to ask him how his wife deals with ghosts being in his house.
No, he ain't no. He's single. Brad, you asked me these ahead of time. I can tell you so you don't go, oh.
I always thought Shawn was married. I just I wonder why we never met his wife, though. And I'm saying, I'm sorry, Shawn.
How's your wife feel about this? I don't got a wife.
The first one didn't believe in him. No, the first one did believe in him. But didn't believe any was at the house, which there was. The second one just didn't care about anything. But
when you're single, when you get single and you're single for a long time, you just get used to it. Like I was single for almost 7 years. I just got used to it. It's a normal everyday thing. I mean, at first you're, but then you're like, wait a minute, I'm okay with it. And I was perfectly okay with being alone for the rest of my life. I settled with it. I settled with it. I said, you know what? Gonna be 50? I don't care. And then here comes this dude. Where the hell he came from, I do not know. He was put in my life for a purpose. That's all I know.
Yep.
And I didn't really even know him at first. I mean, I saw him in chat rooms, but don't. Here we are. It
was like a past life kind of thing.
I don't know. I just felt like I felt like I knew him in a past life, and I just felt that I was drawn to him. And then after 6 years, I said, "Oh crap, here we go."
That's a good question. Do you believe in reincarnation?
Yeah, that was a good. I was going to ask that next. I was going to ask that. Good idea, Brent.
yes.
Have you experienced anything? Not like yourself or anything, but running into any ghost that has maybe give you an idea that reincarnation was real? Or even experienced anything to make you believe that reincarnation is real?
Actually, I haven't. No.
That's life.
But I've been told that you have the option to But when you get reincarnated, you will not remember anything from your previous life. So it's being reborn all over again.
Kind of makes me wonder who I was in the past life. No, could have been a dude, could have been a woman. Just like I was telling Mary when I was talking to her the other day. We were talking about reincarnation, and I told her, I said, if I get reincarnated, I want to come back as a dude. She says, well, why would you want to do that, Brenda? It's like, I just want to experience what guys do.
Uh-huh.
I mean, seriously. I want to come back as a dude.
No,
I
you
don't want
don't.
to. I don't want to come back as like no animal or nothing, because there is like so many different kinds of predators out there where you're out in the woods and something's gonna snatch you up and kill you all over again. So I just would much rather become a human, not no kind of animal no more. I mean, being out in the woods and experiencing what me and Billy has since we've been out ghost hunting. Not truly knowing fully everything about Bigfoot yet, or Dog Man, or any of that stuff. It worries me that when it does come our time to go, that being reincarnated, that I might be reincarnated as an animal, and I don't want that. I thought I did, but no, I'll pass. And people are just like humans too. I mean, there's some dirty humans. There's people that do stupid stuff. I get it, but
Now, if you're a good person in life, you'll be a good person when you pass on. And it's to me, our spirit inside is our true self. This is just a fleshy shell that we leave behind to become our true selves.
well, I don't know. Maybe some of the reason, one of the reasons too, why like we were talking about earlier, how spirits, like, they attach themselves to you. Maybe they feel like it's you were part of their past life, or you were part of their life back when they were still living. Maybe they feel like that you belong with them somehow. Like you said that earlier, I do believe, Shawn. Like they feel like attached to you for some reason, some strange. Maybe it's all making sense now. It took Shawn to open up my eyes to understand it a lot better than what I had already, have experienced myself.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad I could do that.
Says, Shawn, I wanted you to know that I admire you in everything you do. There's not many out there that has that gift like you do. That's from my husband. That's from Hulk.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill.
It's true. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I ever feel I have something in this house that I cannot see myself, if I can't get a call Shawn. I'm gonna say, Shawn, we're doing a video, bro. Walk through this house and tell me what I don't see.
No, I can't see them all.
He's up all night too. He's up all night too. I know he is, so I can call him. I'll be like, I know you're not sleeping. Get up. Look at this stuff. Tell me what this is. But for the most part, he doesn't sleep like I don't sleep. I mean, I don't sleep all night. I'm a complete insomniac. It's terrible. So I have to listen to everything. I'm like, I know you're walking around, but can you keep it down? I hear pots clanging. I hear doors shutting. I hear my microwave. Okay, there you go. Beep, 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 beep. They like to hit the buttons, and I have a video of that. My son's still editing it because it was really long. We did it. We did a house. We set up the camera one night. Brent, I swear to God, for 5 minutes that microwave was beeping.
Motherfucker.
I couldn't figure out what it was. So I'm going through the whole house, like thinking of something that would beep. I went over the microwave and I pushed that button. I said, that's a damn microwave. 5 minutes. It did sound like Morse code. It's exactly what it sounded like. Now, the only one I know that would know Morse code would be my grandfather and my Uncle Toonie. That's it.
Other than me,
You're not dead.
I used to know.
But it sounded like someone was doing Morse code with the microwave. My son, myself, and Jason, we sat there listening to this at night in the dark room going, what in the hell would make that noise? Microwave.
They'll find any way they can to communicate with you.
Yeah.
If they really want to talk to you, they will find any way they can. And a lot of times, most people just don't notice it or don't want to notice it.
I'm changing Wi-Fi companies. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm changing Wi-Fi companies.
I think you
These
need to.
For me,
Oh, Lord have mercy. They say we have 4G. We pay over $100 a month for no G. That's what we have. We got 0G. And the sad thing is, I had a CenturyLink guy come out here to fix my modem. I said, well, we have 4G, right? He goes, no. I said, well, that's what it says when I pop on there. He goes, you about to have 2G. I said, now, what the hell kind of crap is that, 2G? And I said, I'm paying over $100 a month for no G. He's like,
Depends on how close you are to a tower.
Yeah. Well, me and Billy, we went through, was it VSAT? And, you know, we live out in the sticks of Snow Hill anyways. But I'm going to tell you, it's crazy out there because we were paying, I think we were paying $100 and some ourselves for our internet too. And it got to the point where ours was doing the same thing Jack's was doing. So we just disconnected it and said, screw it. You know, we'll just deal with the hot spots on our phones. It's just the area that you live in.
Yeah.
it's funny when Brenda's on the phone and Billy's on the phone. We'll be talking about something, and I'll say something at the exact same time Billy does about us here, and Brenda goes, how do y'all do that? We're like, I don't know. We just do it. It just blurts out at the same time. And that's over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
He'll go, Jax. I'll be like, yeah, but Billy, you remember that? And he'll say it. And I'll be like, Brad's like, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how we do it. We just, it's a thing we do. I don't know. It's like, he'll say the exact same time I'm going to say it. I don't know. There's some weird stuff people do, but I can't explain that.
Are you talking about, like, you think Billy's psychic or you're psychic?
Both.
I don't know.
I think it's both.
I don't know.
I think it's both.
You know, my mama says she wants to practice to be a medium. I'm like, what in the hell for, Mama? What you want to be that for? She goes, when I can hear things and talk to people. I said, oh, Lord.
I tell you what it is. You and Billy are connected. You have a connection. That way, you don't have, like with you, Brenda, you always know how Billy feels all the time, no matter where he is.
Yeah.
Okay. It's that connection. You can share that connection even if one or the other is on the other side of the world.
That's true.
So
that is true.
It depends on how strong you want that connection. Because, I mean, I can connect with people good enough that I can come in and see where they are and what they're doing. It's I call it taking a walk, but
right.
That one was a hard one to learn how to do, but I'm getting better at it.
Let's say I've been practicing kind of on that too, but I have, like I said, I'm still getting in tune with my gifts too. But like, you know, like Doris, you know, she's in the chat or whatever. But I had, me and her was just chit chatting back and forth on YouTube, not YouTube, but Facebook Messenger one night. And it's like all of a sudden, it's like I tuned into her. I told her what she was wearing. I told her about a scar that's up above her eyebrow. And I got in contact with a male figure, which he came through to me as a father figure, as her father that night. But we were talking back and forth, and it's like, how I did this, I still don't know. I just know that, my gifts are getting stronger. They're not as weak as they used to be, and a certain person helped bring that out of him when he was hunting with us. So, so that's how I really started getting in tune with what I have.
That's good. That's great. I wish, like you said, I wish there was a lot more people out there like us.
Yeah. I could, like, it's really funny. When we went out to the Hookerton Cemetery, there was a spirit that was around us that was really, really strong. And, whenever the spirits are strong, I can tune into them. I could tell you how they passed away, and I could tell you what happened. And I closed my eyes and I put my hand on this gravestone, and all of a sudden I started rocking back and forth, like felt like unstable. And I'm sitting here like, you can hear me in the video. I said, you died, you collapsed when you passed, when you died. Like maybe you had a heart problem or something, and it came through the necrophonic pressure when I said that. So that ghost was making me feel what he felt or see whatever when he passed away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've gotten pretty good at that. I'm pretty good at that. It's just that their energy has to be really strong in order for me to pick up on it.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, Brian, you picked up on that cemetery you and Billy were at when where Allison was. I mean, they were straight up talking to you. You could hear them off the necro.
Yeah.
Telling you to get out. You're like, I ain't gonna let you. Tell me what to do. I'm staying right here.
No,
bossy. She's just like, I ain't going.
No, but see, another thing too is the dealing with that Allison, whatever. Me and Billy was going to bed, and I had. It's like she was trying to tell me. I don't know if I had a vision or she was trying to tell me what happened to her. But I seen two males. This is when I closed my eyes. Now I seen two males and a female, and the males were grabbing a hold of Allison and pulling her in. And then I opened up my eyes. I looked at Billy. I said, you brought something home with you. And then I closed my eyes again, and it showed me the Hookerton Cemetery. And I opened my eyes. I said, you brought it back from Hookerton. And, he told everybody that before, when he was going to pack everything up and he was at his car, he heard that music box again right back behind him, and there was no necrophonic on.
Yeah.
Audible, like after he put his stuff away.
Right. So she got in that car with him and came home with him.
I told you that night I was watching the video. I heard a music box. It didn't come through the necro. It was audible. I heard it. And I said, was that a music box? I rewound it 3 times, like backed it up. And that was the damn old school, not old school, but the ones with the keys in it where you'd have to like a really old music box, not like the ones you'd wind up. Past older than that. You could just hear it. Yeah, like the old ones with the raised keys in it, like the steel keys. Really old. I heard it, and I said, and I called Bren right away. I said, Bren, he needs to listen back. There was a music box, and she goes, really? I said, yeah, listen back. And Billy listened back. He goes, oh, damn, there was a damn music box. It was only for a few seconds, Shawn, but it was there.
Yeah,
and he was running the necro at the same time, and I heard it over that, which is nuts. I mean, sometimes you're going to hear stuff that maybe it's not coming through the necrophonic. You're going to hear stuff audibly. Or speaking of which, Jason uploaded a video. He was going through Pizza Hut. Y'all didn't get a chance to watch it. Bren, I swear, Shawn, I swear, it was eerie. He goes, all right.
Poof, she's gone.
We will continue that story in a few minutes.
That's right. So, but anyways, I mean, There was something else I was going to ask you, but I can't remember what it was now. We've been talking about so much back and forth. Now I can't remember what I wanted to ask you.
Older than that. Oh, anyway, so he's walking through the walkthrough, and then you hear a woman say, Jason. He was sitting there listening to it before he posted it, and he goes, what in the heck? I'm like, what'd you catch? And it went, Jason. Clear as day.
That's right at the beginning of it.
And my daughter was doing the dining room. Two of my daughters and Jason works there. And she heard her name, and she asked the lady, she goes, yeah, what do you need? She goes, Megan, I didn't call you. She goes, somebody called my name. I don't know. There's stuff going on in the Pizza Hut.
There's 2 videos that I want to try to get off the security cam.
Well, I don't think you can get security cam, but I don't know if you can get that, but
I'm
he's going to upload that video, so it's right. It's pretty much in the beginning.
It's my last video.
It's on there.
It's on my vlogs channel.
It's on his vlog channel, so you have to go listen to that, Brad.
I don't know he had a vlog
When
channel.
she says it.
Here, I'll post
It's
it.
kind of like Jason. It's kind of eerie. It's kind of eerie though. It's not Jason. It's Jason. It's weird. It's weird.
I'll post it.
Anybody have in the chat? I know you guys have popped up a few questions. Anybody got any questions for Shawn, or Brenda, or me, or whatever? I'm sorry about my Wi-Fi, y'all. It's been crap today. Usually I only disappear once or twice. This has been a record 12 times.
Yeah, I know. You've been popping off every 5 seconds, it seems like.
Brent, I never have this problem. I never have this problem. It's never been this bad.
Even on mobile data,
And
it's slow
there's
down.
nobody here on internet. Nobody. I have bars.
Her face raising up again. It's definitely. It's still been a good interview. I mean, I could, like I said, I could sit and listen to Shawn talk anyway. So, I mean, even if he took over the show and just kept talking, I'd have been sitting here like, yep.
I'm telling you what, pop me off. I'll get back on. I don't care. I'll be right back. Jack will come back. Try to
I
keep me
agree
down.
with you, Mary. I totally agree with you.
I think having deja vu, yeah. That's true. I mean, I Billy has experienced a lot of deja vu too. Billy, he'll come like, why do I feel like I've been here before? It's like you don't never know. I mean, you could have been there before. Who knows?
Deja vu is just it's our way of seeing the future. We actually seen it once before, but we didn't know it until that point in time. So we actually saw the future.
Want to be almost like who's Lauren?
I was trying to put that up there.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out who he was by Lauren.
Where's Lauren?
Right.
This is Lauren.
Some chick you got on the side, what?
Uh-huh. Billy got him another girl.
Who's Lauren?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. If you're gonna write something, you better before you put it up here.
You better explain yourself, Billy. You better explain yourself, Lucy. Who in the Sam hell's Lauren? I don't know no Lauren.
You got some explaining to do.
Lucy, you have some explaining to do.
Right.
You better get him, Brett. I don't know who that Lauren is.
Where is
I'm
Billy?
trying to figure out who Lauren is. He said, y'all don't laugh at me, but I want to be almost like Lauren.
Where is
I've
Billy?
never met no Lauren. Jax, is not your Wi-Fi is crappy. It's the way your face gets paused. It's funny. That's not who Lauren is, though. You're changing the subject here.
I'm curious, where is Billy?
Billy's at work. He works a second job on at a sweepstakes place for his aunt on Wednesday nights. There she goes again. Pooh, she's gone. So, anyways, Lorraine, he wants to be like Lorraine. You know, Lorraine Warren.
Yeah, Lorraine Warren.
Mm-hmm. He wants to be able to see and feel and get visions like she did.
Yeah.
She got white teeth.
Lorraine. Lorraine. Not Lauren. Lorraine.
You gotta forgive her. She's from North Carolina.
Mm. Okay, so I do got one question for you, since nobody has asked you this, Shawn. If you could go to one place and just do a walkthrough to see what's in this place and talk to the spirits, what place would it be?
Two places. Whitechapel and Penhurst. Because I want to talk to the children in Penhurst.
Never heard of neither one of them.
You know where Penhurst is.
Penhurst.
All the big people have been there. That was the place that was only supposed to hold about 700 people. They ended up holding over thousands of people. It was, when was it, Jax? Back in the 40s? And then finally a TV crew, a man, he went in there and he exposed it to the public, how they was being treated. They was tying little 2-year-olds to their beds inside their cribs and just letting them crap all over themselves and not cleaning up. What it was you had one nurse to like 100 to 200 people. But there's several buildings. It's called Penhurst School for something.
Wait, did Ghost Adventures go to that one?
Yes.
Now that you're talking about it, I think I remember me and Babe watching that on TV. I remember that story. But the Whitechapel, I don't know what that is.
Look it up it's on YouTube. It's called something about the little children. Does anybody in chat know what it's called? It's the documentary that guy did from the news. He went back there several times to expose it, and they finally shut it down. But you can watch it on it. Suffer did the little children. I think that's what it's called. But it'll show you the whole story, and it saddens me. And what really saddens me is that all these paranormal groups that go there, they don't show any respect. You know, they go in there like where it's down in where, I don't know if it's a tunnel or what it is, but there's rooms down there.
Mm-hmm.
And just everybody looks at it as a creep factor and more of a thrill to see if anything will happen, instead of actually trying to communicate with them. And you know, there was everybody from little 1 to 2-year-old babies all the way up to, there was a couple that was in there together and they was in their 40s or 50s. These are all people that from society, if you had, say like, if you had HDD, or how do you say that, HDD, or anything like that.
You mean like a disorder, like a hyper disorder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Back then, if your family couldn't put up with you, so they sent you there. They put you in there just so they wouldn't have to deal with you no more. There was nothing wrong with you, but to your family there was. So they just threw you in there. And you was housed in there with everybody from little problems to people that were just really way out there. But anyways, yeah, I want to go there, and I want to go to Whitechapel because I want to know who Jack the Ripper really was.
Jack the Ripper.
That has been a question in my mind, and just I would like to be able to talk to those women, and if they're still there, which I've been told they are. But yeah, I'd like to go back there and see.
Yeah, well, I always said that I wanted to go to like the Mordecai house. That's one of my places I want to visit. And that's here in North Carolina too. Mordecai house is supposed to be one of the most evilest places around here in North Carolina. And I've said that I don't really like dealing with evil, but my curiosity is struck about the Mordecai house. Now I can't hear ghosts the way you do or talk to them like you do, but only through maybe the spirit box. But I want to really find out what's in that house. I do. I mean,
When you're dealing with what people refer to as the evil, or if they're negatives in there, just clear your mind. No emotions. You don't. No fear. No happiness. Nothing. They feed off of it, and in that aspect, it'll help you keep from being scared while you're in there. If
right.
anything happens, you can deal with it calmly instead of being scared about it.
But see, the only place that we've really went to, there's been a couple of places, but the only place that really like scared the bejesus out of me was the Devil's Tramping Ground. That place there is that I said I wouldn't go back there. I said if I do go back there, it's going to be during the day. It's not. I'm not going to be. I'm not just going to go there just for the hell of it anymore. I said I want to do the Devil's Tramping Ground. We did it, and that was good for me. I was done with it. I mean,
What is that name of it's on the tip of my tongue. The tuberculosis hospital. What is that name again?
Waverly. But there has been. That's not the only one. There's several hospitals.
I don't know. Can't remember the name of it.
It's
I forget where it's at.
Sorry about that, y'all. They got phones right there by the computer. It's unknown name. I'm not answering it.
I wouldn't either. Pick it up and hang it up. That's what I would do. Or just taking what I like to classify as the FU button.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the answer machine on. I let the answer machine get it. 99% of the time, they don't leave no damn message.
Jack, is there any?
I don't know why I can't think of that hospital.
Are you guys talking about the West Virginia hospital or no? Not the West Virginia, but the West Virginia Penitentiary or whatever. You're not talking about that one, are you?
I think of those old buildings, Bren. I think of those old buildings, and I say, the age-old saying, if walls could talk, if you just go in there and just listen. Not with electronics, not with anything. Just listen.
Billy says he wants to go to the Stanley.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen it. He does. He's talking. He's been talking about that ever since we seen it advertised. You know, where Ghost Adventures did it. He's like, he goes, I would love to go there. Would love. I mean, there's a horrid story behind that too, about that little girl.
Yeah.
The only thing is I don't want to say that Ghost Adventures is fake, but I think they're more like a lot of people are saying Ghost Adventures is more about entertainment than they are true, investigators. I'm gonna tell you, they like to taunt people too.
Yeah, that's one thing I absolutely no.
Try not to taunt them, but sometimes if you want to get answers, you got to,
Yeah. Being respectful and being nice always gets better answers than, if you start provoking, you're going to get the same kind of energy right back at you.
That's true. We were the same way at the house. Right. I mean, we try not to disrespect ghosts or anything either. But when you have a ghost that's constantly taunting you, constantly, doing stuff to get your attention or whatever, eventually you're going to feed into it and be like, okay, what the do you want?
Yeah.
I'm telling get out of your house. It doesn't do no good. If they came with that house, yeah, good luck with that. Like we have the house that we're trying to get out of.
Yeah, you can always try the old ways. You can do smudging. You know how to do smudging. You can. Have y'all tried doing sage?
We've tried the sage. There for about 2 or 3 days, the house felt lighter after we cleansed the house. It did, but it just seemed like after a while it went back to being the same way it was. We got rid of some of the spirits that was in that house, but they all didn't leave. The steward didn't leave, Dave didn't leave, and then we picked up Eve from the Devil's Tramping Ground. So,
Well, who is the Amanda that I seen that night?
that Amanda, from what we gathered, Amanda is Eve.
That Eve?
Remember? Yeah, Eve. Eve is her witch name. Amanda is her real name.
Okay. I thought that's who it was.
So but like I said, at first we was feeding her, but we don't feed her anymore at all. Trying to get her to weaken her to get her to go away, or she could stay in that house and be with the rest of them ghosts when we leave up out of there.
No. Yeah, I did gather that she was a witch, but what I was getting from her from that night was that she had all good intention.
Well, see, another thing too is we did dowsing rods on her one night. We were sitting in the bed and I started asking her questions, and I believe she lied to me, but I don't know for sure. But I asked her, I said, well, why did you follow us home? Who sent you? Was it somebody in our family that sent you to protect us? The dowsing rods crossed over to yes. And then we asked, well, who was it? And I started naming off people because they said it was on my side. Somebody sent her from my side of the family. And there's only been a few people that has passed away in my family that I was close to. And I started going down the line. When I got to my grandma, the routes crossed over to yes, saying that she was sent by my grandmother to protect me from what we're doing. Is that true? I don't know. But that's what she told us.
Possible. That'd be quite possible. she sent somebody with strength that could actually help y'all.
Right. Well, I believe, I do believe that my grandma is my guardian angel. I do. Because our grandma was like our mom to us because my mom wasn't very much of a mom. So grandma was more of a mother to us than our own mother was. And, we loved our grandma. We was like, grandma, besides our father, our grandma was our heart. And, she loved us. She loved her grandchildren. So.
You think so, Mary?
I think so too. I think Mary's right. I think it's going to take more than Sage because, Nocturnal Nation performed exorcism in our house, or somewhat of an exorcism in our house, and it didn't take him away. Now,
Some of them are stubborn. And honestly, doing stuff like that, exorcism and everything, that's built on faith. And if they don't have the faith, then it doesn't bother them. They won't listen to you. They'll override it.
and that could possibly be why these spirits haven't passed on, or went on where they need to be. They're still staying in the house. They're
Maybe
not.
maybe they are where they want to be.
They can have that house. I don't care if they stay or not.
That's where they want to be, and they're not leaving. That's their house, and I've come across that many a time.
And boy, Jackson's having a time with this dang internet. She's just cussing away about it in the dang chat. She lives in Arizona, so they get those monsoons and stuff that messes with her a lot too. She gets a real bad rain. It's like with the house that we're moving out. We get a real bad rainstorm. You can hang up the hot spots because it's in and out, just like Jackson's doing.
Yeah.
I do know someone who can possibly help. Somebody else was trying to point us into the direction of trying to help us get the spirits out of that house. The bad ones, anyways, the ones that are doing the messing with us. But I said, I'm not scared of the spirits. I just don't want them there. And Billy, they're messing with Billy while he's sleeping. They're putting scratches down his back. And then the last one that I seen when he woke up, he had a scratch going across the top of his head, like we could tell where something scratched him. They're messing with him in that way, and they've even scratched him in the shower too.
Yeah, I believe that he especially he needs to protect himself very well.
All right, I bought him as a black cross, a black onyx with the black cross that he wears around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
I bought him that because then everybody keeps saying that the black is what will help protect you too. But it seems to be like whenever it happens to him in the house is after he takes his cross off. Like after he removes all the stuff that protects him is when he starts getting scratched. But if he's anything like me, I hate sleeping in jewelry. I mean, I keep my cross on just because, I know something's following me around, but I can't stand sleeping in jewelry either.
Don't sleep with it. Hang it up close to you. Hang it on the headboard or something.
Right. All right. Well, if there's not, is there anything else anybody would like to ask Shawn? Because it's going on about an hour and a half, and everybody already knows that Jackson's internet is not working in her favor. Favor. I can't talk. Favor. So if there's anything that anybody wants to ask Jackson, ask Shawn, and that would be the time. Jax, if you can get back up here, go ahead and come up here and try to start getting this shut down, because I don't think I can shut it down. You don't want to leave it running. Maybe she needs to go find somewhere where there's like really strong internet when she does her interviews, besides her house. Besides her house. Okay.
That's where I'm at. Get strong interviews. I'm walking. That better?
You're not dropping yet.
I'm here. Can you hear me, Brandon?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm going outside now.
Thank you, Doris.
Not my side.
Really.
Yes.
Thanks for coming, Shawn. I appreciate it. I thank you for the interview. Even though I popped out 3,500 times. I heard damn near most of it.
So anybody, if you're not subscribed to this man, please go and do that. Shawn is an amazing person with so many gifts. So go check his channel out, and you see that everything that this man has talked to you about today, you can see a lot of it on his channel. That this man right here is legit.
I don't have a lot on it right now, but I will. I'm fixing it back out there and just start making some videos.
Right. Can't wait. Yes. We're ready to see
guys,
it.
thank you all for coming. I appreciate it so much. Y'all are rock stars. Thank you, Shawn. Thank you, Brand, for holding it down while I couldn't be on.
It's all right. I got you, sis. I got you.
All right, so I guess I will. Next interview is on Bren's channel, August 6th. Bren?
No. This coming Friday.
No, you have Texas at the end of the month.
Yep, but this coming Friday, I have Daily Dan blogs at 8 p.m. Eastern time on my channel. He's a
Make
big
sure y'all over for that.
So, anyways, much love to everybody in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We love you all. God bless you all.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Bye, Shawn.
Bye, guys. Thank you, Shawn.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's not bye, it's see you later. Just saying.